Welcome to Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Arael Morocco. The ACIO has a long history of helping humanity from the deep recesses of time. This is the first time the ACIO has become available to the public, aside from an earlier visitation by their 15th Division, the Wingmakers. Peter the Insider, originally from Slovakia, is the director of their 12th Division, and Jessica Arael Morocco is in Cicada 3301, their 6th Division. Together, they provide intel, insights on current events, a deeper perspective on aliens and UFOs, super soldier missions with Unit 374 and the Merge, and news relevant for disclosure. Don't forget to subscribe to keep updated with our latest intel and post any questions and comments below.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. We have Peter the Insider, and we're going to be talking about what's been going on. There's been a lapse of time since he's been on a show and disclosures, and so we're going to welcome Peter in, and he's going to bring up a few different topics, but primarily a bleed through reality that he and the team Unit 374 have been involved with. So without further delay, Peter, welcome to the show.
So I want to say hello to you, Jessica, and to all of our regular and maybe not so regular viewers and listeners.
So I got my pug today with me.
Yeah, our friend, Pug.
And I said to you, because you kept on saying it's not a dog, but it recently won the dog show. So I think I'm validated in saying he's a dog now.
Okay, yeah.
All right. We're gonna get right down into business, and we're gonna talk about this experience that we're having that's affecting the United States, which, putting all joking aside, has been very serious for us. And we, of course, we're all in defensive mode as Americans, because a good portion of the team is American. And so, trying to navigate through this, and because it has been a bleed through. So, Peter, maybe you could start off by telling us how this happened, or any information that you want. How do you want to start this?
Yeah, so pretty much I was in multiple realities, and this is actually a question. Context of existence, timelines, realities. It was kind of hard to determine which kind of term we should use, what is properly termed to call it. And they were multiple, with smaller, maybe bigger differences, but there was one thing what was common, okay? That Nazis, aka let's say Nazi Axis, won Second World War, and they completely ruled the world, okay? And last, context of existence was absolutely crazy. I was the chief of huge labor, let's say, extermination prison camp. It was somewhere in the desert. I was like, my best guess was Nevada, state of Nevada, state of New Mexico, something like it. It was nothing, it was just somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and it was huge. Official claimed capacity was approximately 60 million of people. And they were constantly, from DC. So Washington as DC was still the capital city, okay? The stuff was, they were constantly sending us how-to, aka manuals, Oh my God. How to kill as many people as we can on one quote in quotes turn in you know, gas chamber, how to burn people, how to use it look it was like some sort of island. It's specific with Yankee on the first. It's some sort of complicated and resource demanding type of plasma. So you just go those people there in the chamber, you get some very small sparkle, and this plasma was like some sort of, let's say, living organism. If you can make bread, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like high quality bread.
Yeah, what, like a yeast?
Yeah, something like it. So only once you will be able to get this plasma-ish compound alive, only very small sparkle, and it will kill those people instantly. It was absolutely insane. And I was like, now we simply don't want to do that. And it was crazy complicated to false statistics, because they were regular checks from HQ, how many people we killed and everything. And instead of killing them, we were smuggling them out and burn and do whatever we want with some sort of mixture of wood and ash and everything, and it looked like killing people. You know what I mean? So they doesn't have any, let's say, they were not suspicious that we didn't, quote unquote, catch up the plan. In previous reality, I was deeply infiltrated in Wehrmacht, and I was commander-in-chief of SS Commando, you know, in US, because I want to get intel in order not Nazis to be on US/Canadian soil at all. And the mission was successful, but we've got a problem. Because they, quote unquote, played with time. You know, 20 and back program. We were already late. So no matter that mission was successful, no, mission complete, no, they simply were on track, and they conquered US and Canada and Mexico and all kind of that crap. And I was like, oh my God, this is not okay. So at least pretty much it was some sort of small satisfaction, at least for us, that we've been in this extermination prison camps, and we've been able to save not hundreds of thousands but millions of people. We simply just smuggle them out and do any kind of crap in sort of, quotes in quotes, imitate dead people. You know what I mean? And it was successful. It works, just by the way. And I was happy, to be honest. If you want to ask something, go ahead, no problem.
Yeah, so we're just going to clarify this. Let's step back a bit. I'm going to bring up a chart.
Okay.
So people talk about, well, there's different, you know, Nazi realities or NAZI realities. We'll say it like that. Okay?
Yeah.
Beginning with the one that most people recognize is World War II, right? The second one, which some people disagree with us, but you told us, and I believe you, the Fourth Reich is the Nordics.
That's
I know other people have
correct.
theories.
100%. That's correct. Yeah.
And the Nordics are an off-world group that was brought together genetically. They're hybridized beings, right?
That's 100% correct. And they fanatized Nazis during, my bad, before and during Second World War in our context of existence. This is very important thing to notice. Very important stuff to know. Yeah.
They influenced the Third Reich?
In a very bad way. In very, very bad way. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And they're large, right? They're very tall.
Give me a second. Give me a second. Long story short, they are 100% looking like humans, 100%. But instead of that, they are, let's say, shortest. They are approximately 6 feet, aka like 100 or 5'11", aka 180, 183 centimeters, and they can raise up to, I don't know, 8 feet, approximately 240 centimeters, something like that. They are either blonde or redheads, either blue or green eyes. They had either blue or green eyes, and most of them have pale skin, pale-ish skin tones. Yeah, that's correct. Mm-hmm.
They almost sound like Nephilim description or giants.
Not Nephilims, giants, ancient giants. That's 100% correct. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they had a major impact. We've had problems with giants before.
Don't even try to tell me to talk about giants. This is crazy. And we can go to the Fifth Reich. Mature, that means that why we are using this term mature. That means that they, how can I say it? Mature, but give me a second. How can I say it correctly? They learned from their previous mistakes. They know that cruelty and everything is not the suffer and sorrow and pain. That this is not the way how to conquer and rule the world. Right? They learned about it, and there was total war, Second World War, in order to be more precise, in their reality, but the timeline doesn't fit. We are talking about the very beginning of 20th century, okay? When Second World War hit the fan, hit the whole world, and not only, I don't know, Europe or Pacific and all kind of that stuff. It hit the whole world, okay? But it was like 2.5, 3 years long, something like that. And in total, only about 5 to 6 million people died in total during the whole, Second World War. Yeah, that is how it is. Mm-hmm.
These are NAZI realities that came into our context of existence, but there are others that didn't, right? But
that's 100% correct. And this is very important. Sorry for interrupting you. I know it is impolite. There was no nuke. How can I say? No nuke scenario in a Fifth Reich context of existence.
So no Hiroshima and all that in Nagasaki, that didn't happen.
No. They didn't have. Yes, they have atoms, quotes in quotes, under control, but no nuke arsenal. They are using nuclear energy for power plants. Yeah, this is important.
Okay. Now, the one that you just stepped into was the 6th Reich, which no one's ever talked about,
Yeah.
but it's kind of obvious because they don't hide that they were a part of this AZOV Brigade, and it's the Ukrainian, we would say Ukrainian and AZIs, and they are, you can see the bleed through because of the incredible power that they have around the world.
Right now, or I don't want to say right now, almost last 3 years. Almost last 3 years.
Yeah. And Zelensky is like the commander over there. Is that correct?
100%. He moved from Ukraine to US, to DC, of course, and he's commander. And that's the stuff. Not commander in chief. Forget. It is like, nah. I don't want to be like some sort of army military. No, he's politician, okay? And he's doing it very smart. Very, very smart.
Oh, exceptionally smart.
Yeah.
But
in 6th Reich case scenario, if we want to call it that way. There.
But he has to help because
you will buy his story. If you will be there, he's good, very good with rhetorics. He's speaking, and he knows when, how, what to speak, which kind of people is targeted audience and everything, and people is buying their, I need to say it loud, okay? Their propaganda. That's
Peter,
crazy.
Before we go deeper into the Ukrainian group, the AZOV Brigade,
Okay.
Can we talk about the man in the high castle, because we know that happened as well, but that's not here. Is that correct?
That's 100% correct. Yeah.
And I was involved in that, and you were involved in that one.
Yeah, that's another case scenario. Geez.
And that also had to have bled through into our reality to some degree.
Oh, not some degree, in very high degree. Yes.
And when would that have also taken place during the Third Reich?
Yes, and that is the reason why, I mean, all of those kind of weird bleed throughs, and it was, I'd say those time periods, it was very key time periods, 1920s, 1930s, and of course we know when Second World War took place and where, everywhere, you know. The stuff is, it was perfect time and perfect spots. They were perfect spots, aka perfect place, for opening portals / creating portals. And bam, bleed throughs came in. I mean, I don't want to say bleed throughs, effects of bleed throughs came in, and you know, rest of the stuff. Disaster was about to happen.
In the man in the high castle, they have a lot that, you know, there was a division in the nation. It's out west, like you said.
Yeah.
I'm just doing it as a comparison. Okay, so I mean, you can clearly see the symbology here.
Yeah.
Formation of National Guard of the Ukraine, formerly based in Mariupol and the coastal region of the Sea of Azov. And so you can see that their ideology is there. And then somehow they got into this other reality, or they took over the other reality, which is not just in the Eastern Bloc, but they actually took over the United States. Did they take over Europe as well?
This brigade was specifically trained and formed, I mean, in their reality, call it 6th Reich reality, okay, for dividing and conquering, because this is it, for not conquering and dividing, spreading propaganda, demagogy, nonsenses, and then conquering US. My bad, US and Canada.
But not Europe.
No, because they know Europe. They are from Ukraine. They are Europeans, okay? For them, no logic. It will be like you want to fight, I don't know, like some sort of, how can I say it properly, second civil war in US. No, it doesn't make any sense, because you had one. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So for them, okay, give me a second. In their reality, they are elite unit of elite top class soldiers, and they were sent to do this military operation, and they succeed. They divided and conquered successfully whole US and Canada territory.
But did they do that through the with Biden and Hunter?
To be perfectly honest, there was total different leadership there.
It's the same personality, though, same being, entity, or whatever that helped them.
Yeah.
And what is their name?
Old gentleman was already dead, long gone. Joe, I don't know the official name of this gentleman, to be perfectly honest. My shame on me. But
yeah, that doesn't make any sense, because in order for them to take over, they would have had to take over politically.
No, give me a second. Old gentleman was dead, but his son was in charge.
And what was his son's name?
Hunter.
It was Hunter.
Yep, correct. Old gentleman was dead, and he was shut down from the airplane. In Air Force One, just by the way. That was the very start, Then they infiltrated successfully to CIA, to DARPA and everything. Then they completely dismantled the Pentagon, and we know rest of the military drill, how to do that. Just by the way.
Well, it makes sense, because they were breaching all of our intelligence during this past administration, and of course you could see that Joe Biden couldn't give enough money. I mean, if he had to take the very last penny from a bunch of orphans or elderly people, he would, just to send it over there. And they did not have enough money for hurricane aid in the Carolinas.
Sorry for interrupting you. I was like, what the heck? Once I got this, this info, I was like, whoa. That was crazy hurricane, and they don't want to help those people. And instead of that, they are donating another state. I don't want to say especially Ukraine. Any sort of country, for Asian country, from American point of view. Even if I will be American, or if I will be in Slovakia, and if we will have enough resources, I will be like, what? This doesn't make any sense. but it happened. Yep. You
Well,
get
we know that they stole billions of dollars, billions, billions, billions. I'm going to lay it out. I'm going to show all of the money that I could find that has been sent over to them specifically without any evidence of assisting with the war, without any evidence of military, like technology equipment. We have no proof that that money, we don't know if this is all just being laundered. We have no idea. Okay, so let's go over a little bit about how much money has been allocated to the Ukraine from the United States since the Russian invasion. And this one shows August 31st, 2024. You're looking at 61.11 in billion dollars in billions. Okay. Plus financial, 26.9 billion, and then 3.15 billion dollars. This is the Ukraine Support Tracker, a database of military, financial, and humanitarian aid to the Ukraine. Shows the total bilateral aid, government allocations, and percentage of GDP. And so you see this 75%, United States, Canada, Alaska. It's not just which donor countries are pulling their weight in the Ukrainian aid. It's not just about that. I mean, it's not like, oh, who has more money? It's like, well, why is this happening? Where is all this money going? Because this could be a forever war, and we're just sending more and more money over for some kind of deal or agreement to line the pockets. Obviously, they're not planning on losing anything, and that they'll have plenty of money under the guise of that this is actually a worthy war. I don't think it should have been a war in the first place, but they had their personal conflict that they turned into a global conflict due to this bleed through that somehow they accessed the United States and are manipulating, taking, destroying, corrupting, and we know Hunter's personal activities of what he does. So that's why everything's going crazy about trafficking and what is actually happening. I mean, it's going into indulgences and expensive homes, and there was actually a rumor of Zelensky having a home, an elaborate home in Florida, but then they said it's not true. It's owned by someone else. But I actually think that it's very, very possible that he has homes everywhere, but not disclosed to the public. And they know how to scrub that from the internet, because I have done research years ago and only to discover that it's gone. I'll search all over and I can't find certain articles, and they're scrubbing them. But fortunately, I have videos and archive videos of articles that I've showed or shared with people, and there's some proof there. But even some of those videos they have pulled from our channel. So, but we have saved them. We have them backed up. If everyone wants to listen to a lot of the things that we talked about in on our channel, you can hear them on our radio station, Andronetalks Radio, and there's a link below that everything is still intact. So you may find a YouTube discussion about something that was wiped, that was pulled from the channel. Anyhow, let's get back to the topic. Which donor countries are pulling their weight in the Ukraine? Then they showed that the European countries at the moment, United Kingdom, France, Italy, Germany. Zelensky's presenting his or his far undisclosed victory plan to his European allies, which are instrumental in the Ukraine's war efforts as donors. Meanwhile, places like Sweden are preparing for war, places like Poland. It's definitely something, even I think I heard from Ralph that the Netherlands is also discussing that, we need to be planning for a war. And this is something that wasn't supposed to happen. It was because Zelensky and Putin got into conflict. And there have always been conflicts in nations with their neighbors, for those that maybe were owned and controlled by, some of the stronger nations. And so it's like if we were to engage in everyone else's problems, we would constantly be in the universal wars or international wars, world wars, what have you. U.S. announces nearly $1 billion in military aid for the Ukraine. Well, it looks like it's a lot more now. This came out in December of 2024. The package features drones. That's interesting. Ammunition, precision, HIMARS, rocket launchers, equipment, spare parts for artillery systems, tanks, and armored vehicles, and the Pentagon said in a statement. It's interesting, right? So he has a thing on drones here, and yet we have drones all over the United States. So they were supposed to be over where? Used over in the Ukraine and in Russia. Somehow they end up in the United States because, according to Peter, now the Ukraine is claiming the United States as their own, and which justifies their right to possibly watch us through drones. It's just something to think about. And because of the bleed through. And like I asked Peter, well, are they going to take over Europe? He goes, no. He goes, they are Europe. So in other words, they already feel like they own Europe, so that's why they needed to own the United States. A list of military aid to the Ukraine during the Russia-Ukrainian war. This looks like a Wikipedia page. This is a list of no military aid provided or promised to the Ukraine during the Russo-Ukrainian war, particularly since 2022. And also, the idea that the Bidens, particularly Hunter, was involved in, some of the facilities over there, and other types of things that he was directly in contact with, and now, not a surprise that he is running this partly running this Ukrainian alternate, I won't say alternate reality, bleed through reality that Peter's talking about, along with Zelensky and some others that are very involved. Supposedly Biden, it doesn't exist there anymore. Unfortunately, another one that we don't often bring up is Jill, and Jill has been definitely handling Joe, and that's another thing that I wanted to bring up. Jill Biden, the quiet influence of Biden's closest advisor. The day after the U.S. President Joe Biden struggled through a 90-minute debate that only served to fuel voter concerns about his age and fitness, Jill Biden stood before well-heeled donors at a New York fundraiser and tried to explain what they had all witnessed. Jill, I don't know what happened. I didn't feel that great, and President had confessed. She told them, I said, look, Joe, we are not going to let 90 minutes define the 4 years that you have been president. So you could see there's some influence, her handling him from behind, and seeing the public not really noticing that she's in the background, but she is constantly there beside him, kind of helping him to get through many of these different moments, and also influencing that Joe Biden, the woman with the U.S. presidency era, as he doubles down on staying in the race. And definitely influencing him. This is a Newsweek article. The U.S. services denied diverting resources away from protecting former President Donald Trump at a campaign rally where he was the target of an assassination attempt in order to protect First Lady Jill Biden. This is a problem that my Secret Services have cited. Secret Services resources are diverted to Jill Biden's event away from Trump's because they followed agency protocol applying to Trump as a former president, according to two services. And it's interesting that she was she was not necessarily in any danger, but they sent resources to protect her that day in particular. Joe Biden leads one of Joe's last cabinet meetings before hosting a Rose Garden party without him. You see her at the head of the table. They don't seem uncomfortable. There he is. There's Joe Biden. And we've never really looked at her, but, I thought, well, let's look at her now. First Lady wearing oversized clear rimmed glasses, leading a binder of notes touting a list of recent women's health related funding allocations and executive agency initiatives. Pretty interesting. I don't think I've ever seen this. Even with Hillary and Bill, I know Hillary was very vocal and was in charge in a lot of ways, influencing him. But this is even more obvious, but for some reason they see her more as a caretaker to Joe, but I don't believe that's necessarily the case. I think she has been instructed and has been handling him for quite a while now. So this is from the Daily Mail, and the article is How Vengeful Jill Biden Is, Urging to Press Joe to Burn the Whole Thing Down. Burn the whole thing down in their final days, with Obama, Kamala, and Pelosi at the top of her naughty list. 'Tis a season for revenge for President Joe Biden to spend the remaining weeks of his presidency settling scores. This is at the expense of all the American people, and also, I might add, internationally, because all of these things that they're doing is affecting many different nations. This is all from the bleed through. This is a full-out nightmare of someone just playing games, from their position of power, sharpening the metaphorical carving knives in their sights set firmly on one-time allies that they perceive as having wronged them. Sorry about the pop-ups. They're everywhere. This is ridiculous. Pardon came alongside this. By the way, this is from the Daily Mail. So if people want to check and see where this came from, and we will have it below. And it's pretty loaded with a lot of different, things that have, but just that statement alone in the very beginning, I think explains it all, and how this, and all the different players that are involved in, of course, it's not all the players. I mean, there's quite a few more from behind the scenes. Daily Mail again, Maureen Callahan, the terrifying scandal is that Biden was never president. Which we've been hearing this for years, but it's like, yeah, but he is still orchestrating. He's still sending money. He's still hurting innocent people. He's still forcing agendas. The full truth about the cover-up, bad Dr. Jill, which, like I said, looks innocent, looks like the girl next door, the housewife, the girl at the PTA meeting, the woman that's there to, part of the community. So bad Dr. Jill and all the enemies within must be exposed. Remember, she came from, she was not originally his wife. She was the nanny who was taking care of Hunter, who in the world knows what happened there. And then somehow he leaves his wife for Jill. And she's probably quite a few years his junior at the time, raising his children. And obviously now, the handler, because of his, dementia or what have you. And they have a little discussion about, a few different things, but I don't know how much damage that they're going to do and how many times that they're going to try to incite a third world war just because they didn't get their way. They feel that it's okay. And notice she's wearing a nice big monarch butterfly on her dress. This is not a game, friends. This is right in the open, and nothing to hide here. It's very, very in your face, but it's so surreal, that you say how they did it right in front of everyone, and yet there's all this cognizant dissonance, mind control, what have you, that people were refusing to look at. The knives would come out, and so has the truth, having been lied to for years by the Democratic Party, which I don't even know what they are at this point. They used to represent something. Now this is like some kind of foreign agency that has come into the United States and taken over from probably, like it used to be, Republican and Democrat, and I'm not even seeing that anymore. I'm seeing that this is something else. This is they utilized the Democratic Party as a tool to be able to access and to destroy the United States. But Democrats were not always this anti-American, who insisted on Joe Biden, was not diminished by his age, but energized by it. Well, it turns out we skeptics were right all along, and what we were learning is terrifying, infuriating, an unacceptable abuse of power, and a usurpation of the presidency itself by a nameless, faceless cohort, which will come out. Will we ever know who these conspirators are? 2 bombshell reports out this week that the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal depict a president thoroughly out to lunch for his entire term, top cabinet members unable to reach him, staff regularly taking his place at official events, Biden refusing to hold morning meetings by clocking out at 4 p.m., even though he naps every day, and in July announced that he'd no longer hold events after 8 p.m. How many hours has Joe Biden actually spent working? How was the 25th Amendment not invoked? Was the danger of President Kamala Harris, who the liberal media also tried to sell as a viable, truly that unthinkable, drain the swamp, resonates for a reason? Meanwhile, Biden's campaign spokesperson, Kevin Munoz, sought to deflect his boss's dereliction by, you guessed it, going after Trump. So, don't look over here, look over there. Always trying to create dramas and other things just to avert people's attention. I think I've talked enough. I think read it for yourself. I mean, I've been saying this for years. I knew we were getting robbed. This is a big game just to bring in new people with new money to further mess with our world, destroy it, and then say it's global warming and destroy people's genetics so people die or have weird illnesses or not bright enough or not healthy enough to contend or disagree with anything, to create an enslavement. Okay, back to the conversation. What's going?
I understand basically what you wanna say. Give me a second, and I'm 100% with you. It doesn't make any sense for me at all.
Well, someone's going to have to pay for this because that's theft. That is a global theft. It was a global theft against the European nations. The war was contrived, and they brought other people in. Russia, and I don't know if they're splitting the whatever gain that they're getting, or a lot of people are getting paid off just to.
I mean, they want Donbass. Okay, it's huge part of it. It's part of Ukraine, a very eastern part of Ukraine, and it has industry, all kind of type of industry. Donbass, also called Donbass, and Crimea Peninsula. You know, it's.
But how is that our problem? What do we have to do with it? Nothing.
It's easy for them, not for us. For them, they want to create problem. East versus west / vice versa, and everyone will be paid. You name it. You named it. Everyone.
They're a circle of those that are collaborating with them and those that were in position to make
because
a decision.
they want a cash flow. Because they want a cash flow. That's
they're
easy.
making oligarchs, right? They're making the end. Yeah.
New generation of oligarchs. That you got it.
Mm-hmm. I got this information. I woke up one morning and I heard they're coming from Crimea. They're bleeding through 20,000 troops. They're very angry, vengeful, and the Chechens are with them.
Don't even talk about Chechens. They are crazy. Oh my God.
I heard that one morning and I'm like, and also since you told us about it and I kind of blew up, I was pretty angry thinking that they were going into the United States. And then I started having dreams of being there. And they had me socializing with.
Where is there?
In that context of existence with this 6th Reich.
Okay.
And I had recall of being there and being in different places, and then it was mandatory for me to be in a social setting and interacting with people. And then I woke up to a vision of being in a barracks scenario. I saw you jump out of your bed, and then from behind me, someone shot you. So that was one incident, and then there was I was like 3 times I saw you get shot, but you weren't killed. And then I knew that there was like a lot of like they were betraying each other.
I am absolutely not surprised.
But absolutely. I don't know. Someone trying to shoot you, but I don't know who it was, if it was even one of them or someone who came in from somewhere else. But we know we had some problems with a certain group that you know very well. And I don't know if it was related.
Yeah, we don't want to mention them, yeah.
Just not yet, right? This is
yeah, not yet. Yeah.
So I mean, how does this turn out? I mean, there was a tornado that happened in California.
Yeah.
And there have been some like weather anomalies out west. Something's going on out there. Regarding the Midwest, I think, there's been some fires. There's been some incidences, but nothing really, really significant, from regarding the bleed through. If they told me that 20,000 of this troop was coming through, and or maybe it's more. What are your thoughts on that?
To be perfectly honest, I am kind of surprised that only 20,000.
I knew you were going to say that, but that's the number they gave me at the time. But
it is crazy, and I mean absolutely crazy.
So how does it now? You're over that prison camp, and you were trying to salvage and protect people because you saw that they had a certain type of technology that could kill them.
Yeah, but it was so crazy crap. I was like, we shouldn't kill those people. They didn't anything bad.
Were these people of a certain nationality, or are they
I
people
will
that
tell you, this is not about, forget about Jewish people, Hebrew people, all kind of people. They are mixed race. So pretty much it will be like 70, 80, maybe even 90% of US. It is crazy. They wanna wipe them out.
because people are mixed race?
Yeah, they wanna kill them. No, I'm not kidding you. They are crazy. And if they don't wanna kill them, they wanna experiment them in the first place. And if they are, quotes in quotes, no longer valuable experiment subjects, then they need to be killed according their own ideas. Yeah.
Why?
Give me a second. I'm not saying I am okay with that. I'm saying what they want to do from us, from our side. It doesn't
Why
make
does it make them that people are mixed race?
I don't know. They want to do that. They simply want to do that. Don't ask me why.
Are they against other races, or they just don't like races mixing?
Like, for example, white people with, I don't know, people from Asia, or I don't know. So white Europeans, because they are not only white Europeans, for example, in France, in Germany, and all kind of their stuff in Scandinavian countries. So white people from Europe. If you will have children with Asian people in or I don't know if from India, or and I don't know where, from with African American people, they are, quotes in quotes, not okay to exist. And I was like, what does it mean not okay to be? That was the answer.
It's interesting because there are futurists that claim that in the future everyone is slightly brown skinned, that the future everyone mixes.
Give me a second. They want to create, quotes in quotes, pure race, if you know what I'm trying to say. But not pure race, pure race. They want to create some sort of specific, not pure race like white, black, and everything, but some sort of high profile race. They will be the most durable. I don't know if you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say?
Like the Übermenschen.
Not white only. Some sort of mix. They want to make it try and learn method. Try and learn method. And they want to have people, they can run fast, they can swim fast, they can, I don't know, hold their breath under the water, and all kind of those stuff. They will be immune for extreme level amounts of radiation. But give me a second. Without any arguments, okay? And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is not okay. And they are doing eugenics. They are doing, if you want to ask, yes, they are doing eugenics. And I even don't want to describe what we are talking about, because this is way above level of imagination. This video will be wiped out from YouTube.
Well, I mean, I don't even know if it's going to get wiped out from YouTube as it is, but all right, so it doesn't make any sense. So they don't like naturally mixed race, but they want to create their own mixed race. And
they want to create, quotes in quotes, perfect DNA. And I was like, what does it mean, perfect DNA? Like perfect DNA profile. And they said, perfect DNA. That was the answer.
That movie, that it's almost a comedy, Iron Sky. And they
Yeah,
take
yeah,
that.
it was almost like 50-50 comedy. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, well, it's tough disclosure, obviously. Them having a base on the moon.
Yes, yes.
And they have this guy who's of African descent, and they make him Caucasian looking, or maybe almost albino looking.
Oh, no, not Caucasian, albino. That's difference. Yeah.
Yeah, let me see.
I mean, give me, give me a second. You saw it. I saw it. I mean, yeah, crap. We need to get a link in. I think link in the description below the video should get.
Yeah. So you know what we're talking about? Is it something like that?
Yeah, pretty much.
And whose idea is this? I don't understand why they're. It sounds stupid, honestly.
Don't ask me who created those quotes in quotes bright shining ideas, but definitely not me. Just by the way. Definitely not me.
Almost like you're tearing down people just to create the same thing. Because the mixed race are mixed race. And then they mixed race.
Absolutely, you absolutely nailed it. Because it's like, how in the world, why in the world, once you have something, I will tell you my idea, okay? If you, I mean, stupidest crap in the world, but I will tell you. You have design in computers, I mean software, okay? And if you will open old Windows 3.1 or 3.11 and cursors and icons and everything, yeah, of course, in Windows 10 / Windows 11, they are modernized, but they look very similar. Do you know what I'm trying to say? They look very, very similar, and this is exactly the same. Like,
they could say that they're the god of this other race. Is that maybe it's to stroke their own ego, saying that they're the ones who created it rather than it's just happening by natural.
Yes, I think it is like to quotes in quotes pet those egos, like you have pet and you can pet your dog or your cat, and I don't know what, like, okay, because it doesn't make any sense. Or maybe because they just wanted to create one race or two races, who the heck knows? I'm just saying what give me a second. I'm just describing what I went through in different Nazi timelines. I mean, context of existence, it's kind of complicated to determine it.
You go in as a spy. You go in there as a spy to integrate it, act like you're a part of them, and then to try to dismantle it or to try to stop what they're doing.
To try to dismantle it in the first place, and if not, then stop it somehow, because we don't know how the operation. It wasn't a mission. It wasn't a mission. It was a huge operation. And I was like, oh my goodness. And as I said, mission was successful, completed.
Well, as far as because
we were late.
You wanted to prevent another world war, right? And that stopped.
Give me a second. That is the problem. We, in the first place, we want to prevent Nazis' invasion to US and Canada and Mexico and all kind of those territories in the first place. Now, it was successful. Despite that, we were late because they, quotes in quotes, played with time. Okay. But for God's sake, we were there in the, I mean, pretty much I came back from their reality once I was head in the HQ headquarters of this huge prison camp, extermination camp, and I was like, what the heck is that? Once they want to colonized another planet. Okay, and from another planet, and this is it. We don't know who, but it looks like 12D Pleiadians, but we are not 100% sure. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? That's when it comes down to it. They're involved. The umbrella corporations involved, and also the Shaw House, because years ago,
100%. And
Shaw House was, or particularly Heather Shaw, was manipulating Adolf Hitler, and I saw her do that. She mind controlled him.
yes, that's true. And the thing is, they opened 12D Pleiadians. They opened portal, and we need to create somehow distortion. In an ideal case, at least distortion. In an ideal case, we need to find a way how to create this portal, because we will get total war, aka World War III. It is no room for discussion. If room for discussion is only when and where is it about to start. And I'm like, oh my God, because they want always more. It is like people, they are rich, they are successful and everything. They start to drink alcohol, to use drugs, to do underage quotes in quotes adult entertainment with underage children, and we know everything, all those kind of crap. Do you know what I'm trying to say? We know it because they have everything and nothing is enough for them. And that right. Literally happened in 6th Reich context of existence, period.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that it's happening now, and the videos that people have of Hunter Biden and him with underage people, and it just seems to be rampant, and crossing the borders with a lot of the trafficking has gone way up, and as right over there.
Interrupting you again, Jessica, but how in the world someone can be that beast and say trafficking heavily underage children?
Why it's allowed?
Ukrainian war orphans. Yep. And saying as a quote in quotes excuse that nobody will miss them. And I'm like, what the heck? I don't want to use even worse words.
It seems they're not, none of these are humans. They're not human. It doesn't seem like a natural reaction to.
It is like demons or something, possessions or something.
The 12D feel like demons to me. They really do, and I know people get offended because there are good Pleiadians, but these are not good ones. This is a very bad.
Pleiadians are very good.
The 15D Pleiadians are good, but the 12D are not. Now, I want to bring, can I share something with you that I think is going to help add to this? I recently did this talk about this dystopian reality. It was regarding a video that I watched that came out during the election regarding, between Kamala and Donald Trump. And so in the beginning, there's this girl, let's see if we got it, that reminded me of Chloe. I see that.
Okay.
And so, and then I showed and compared, the Chloe had blue hair like that.
Give me a second. What is that?
So the girl, let me tell you what they talk about. They talk about that there's this dystopian reality. Isn't this crazy?
Oh my goodness.
I'll give you the video, but it starts off that she's talking about how that they were just enjoying life. They were around beautiful people. She's dancing and she's enjoying her life. And then the election happens. They didn't take it serious. And then Donald Trump gets into office, and then he dies, and then J.D. Vance has problems, or he then wants to keep in office, so no one else runs for office anymore, kind of like what you said.
But like, this is what I said. This is what I said.
J.D. Vance and Zelensky, actually, in this scenario.
Give me a second. Sorry, what?
So J.D. Vance in their story is actually they're actually talking about Zelensky. So what I was thinking is that Chloe leaked this. This actually came out as an ad. It came out as an advertisement.
Oh my God.
Let's see if I can find it. Is that it? Original video.
Oh my goodness. This is not okay.
Oh, what's going on?
Don't know. What is that? Okay. What?
I don't know. It's like jumping.
What is that?
Someone doesn't want us watching it. That is crazy.
Give me a second. What is that?
This is the one that I created. So anyhow, at some point, they show that they put all these people into prison camps. Just like you said, here's the voting. They show the voting. They talk about J.D. Vance being bad or whatever, but I don't know if they're talking about someone else. And let's see. They talk heavily about AI. I don't know, is AI really popular there?
Yeah, that's correct.
They show that it becomes like dystopian, and then I don't know, at some point they show all these people being put into these prison camps. All these people being put into prison camps.
I never liked you. I never
said we messed up, right? So that was that video that I just did. And so they say that, Donald Trump dies, J.D. Vance moves on. Nobody else can get elected. And then you see Elon Musk is very involved. And then he and Peter Thiel go into the future, I guess, with AI. And then he disappears, but the rest of the people end up, like this in the beginning, where they're sitting around and they're poor and they have nothing and their world's destroyed. Is that what it looks like?
100%. That's original case scenario. I don't want to say right here, right now, but as I described, this is 100% that. Yep.
Did Chloe leak this message?
Definitely.
To the public?
Chloe definitely leaks those infos. Definitely.
But it's not exact same characters though, right?
Sorry, what?
It's not. They're not the exact same people that she's talking.
Of course not. I know.
But she leaked the story, and now I'm wondering if they're trying to pull that. It was an advertisement that was done, and I believe I knew right away with the blue hair, and she was dancing and everything, and I said I'm pretty sure that's Chloe. So, where do we go from here, Peter? Is everyone pulled out of that reality that did that mission? Unit 37?
Yeah, that will be kind of complicated, to be perfectly honest with you.
Some of us still there?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
And look about that AI. Oh my goodness, that's so crazy. What do you think about AI? This is not okay.
It gets extremely invasive.
Yep.
There was also someone that came to me. I told you someone came to me in the future, and I was having a conversation with them, and they said that they are here from a very far into the future, and they are here supporting Elon Musk. And I said, why are you supporting Elon Musk? And they said, he's our father, like he's our founder. Kind of like Steve Jobs.
This is worst case scenario, to be honest.
And I said, well, who is he? And he says they're called, these are the names that they gave him. They called him the father of all saints, the father of mirrors, the gentle father, the great hope for mankind.
And we know who they
and the
AIs.
Trinity.
Oh my goodness.
Leader for the Trinity was the last one. They were here to protect him from the future, to make sure that nothing happens to him. And
I hate this crap. I hate this crap.
I wouldn't know how to find them, but they told me that in the future that they learn everything that there is.
I will tell you something. I 100% believe them.
They are able to go into all the existence of time and figure it out, and then they destroyed it. And they said, I know you're going to say that we're stupid. And I said, yes, that's exactly what I called you, is stupid, when I heard that you did that. And they said,
oh my goodness,
this is not fix it.
This is not okay. This is not okay.
They said they couldn't fix it back to the way it originally was. I said, well, what did you think was going to happen? Because they thought that they were going to be some kind of gods. And they were integrated. And
are you sure?
And you know who was guiding them? It was like a young girl, like Alice, like an Alice character with what
is that? Alice in Wonderland, you mean?
No, the Alice that we've talked about early on, like years ago. She looked like this young girl.
No. Now I remember. Okay. Now I remember. Okay.
And you know, I'm going to show you another TV show that here is Pantheon.
But this is from ancient mythology, you know that. Just
right. And the TV show is talking about uploaded individuals or uploaded intelligence. Like, in other words, the body, they don't use the body, they pull up the personality, the consciousness into this like a false, like or a digital reality. And the young girl somehow creates a bunch of worlds in this reality. The main guy is named Steve, like Steve Jobs, and his personality is like Steve Jobs. And I talked about him being an uploaded intelligence. And then they have some kind.
I'm not surprised, and I mean, for goddamn good, I'm not surprised.
And so, like, the father is used for an experiment, and then they kill him, and then he goes into this cloud. And then she joins him in the cloud and learns all sorts of information, and then they ID everyone on the planet, essentially.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, it's... But here again, I thought of Chloe possibly leaking this as well.
I'm not surprised, to be honest. I'm not.
But does she remind you, this young girl remind you a bit of Alice?
Yep.
And what was Alice in, so we can show a comparison?
Oh, I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know.
I don't remember what show that was. But you talked about, Alice coming into our reality and that she was very bad.
Yeah, Alice was goddamn bad.
Because she was AI, right? And she was learning.
Yeah, she wasn't as a person. She was like AI. Yeah, that's correct. Oh my goodness. Yeah,
That's great.
that's 100% correct.
Okay, so here again, it's like a girl with dark hair. Applied Lucent Intelligence emulator. Reoccurring character in the second and third, fourth, and sixth season of The 100, which is the name of the show is The 100.
Yeah.
And what she does is she destroys the world. She goes off in a spacecraft and she's observing the world and then makes a decision on her own that everyone should just be destroyed. And she creates a nuclear apocalypse and simultaneously bombs all different major nations around the world. And then she's the one overseeing what's called the City of Light, which is like a cloud, artificial reality, where everything looks perfect but it's obviously not the same.
Of course not.
But no one's there to control her. It's AI run amok, going and taking control and in making these decisions on their own based on whatever data that they think validates it, which is, the limited intelligence of the creators of these AI, because they can't conceptualize the multiple potentials of what these personas can get into, these AI personas can get into based on whatever type of personality that they insert. And if there's levels of narcissism or some other issues, I mean, it can go into a very damaging, horrifying effect. And,
that's correct.
Because of AI, it's always steps ahead of everyone else. So, the people I think that are creating AI and androids are really morally irresponsible, extremely morally irresponsible. And
yeah, that's 100% correct.
And in a way, they are posing a direct, permanent destruction or genocide of humanity, and that's why I think it should not be allowed. I don't think it should be allowed at all. The people don't know what they're doing, and they're playing with fire, and they should not be allowed to create these things.
Yeah, it is like small children playing with matches. It's like that's never end up well.
Yep. No, it won't. And you think everything's okay until you burn the place down, and then it's too late. And then what are you going to do, right?
Yeah, exactly. You get it. You nailed it. Yeah.
Yep. So, was there any other pieces of information regarding this reality, or what do you anticipate is going to be happening if there's still members of our team there and other people probably that are still in that reality? I mean, are we going to be able to shut them down?
From my point of view, it's fine, to be honest. I mean, we are good to go for this show. What do you think?
Well, it's a lot to take in. Honestly, it's not a comforting feeling, and people don't want to know. All right, so we averted another major war, but what other damage are they doing to the United States financially? What are they doing to people of mixed race? What are they doing to the destruction of the land, or any type of chemical leaking or anything like that that's bleeding through?
That's correct. You nailed
money.
it.
Well, so do we? It's going to be an ongoing mission until what? We stop this Reich?
Definitely. I'm just saying. Let's say it was like brief information, and the ones per parts. Where we will make progress in this. I don't want to say mission. No. It is military operation. It's huge. It's complex. It's complicated. Okay? And let's make such a deal. After mission, I will let you inform, not only you, but our viewers and listeners. And after that, let's say we want to get this operation complete and get succeeded. What do you think?
Yep, I agree.
Okay.
Is Kruger involved as well?
Nope, not in this.
Okay. All right.
Okay, that's
All right.
good.
Well, thank you, Peter. Thank you for giving us an update. It's been a little while. I know people have been asking what's been going on, but obviously, you know, if you're right involved in activity, then it's impossible to interact with the public.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy and wild stuff. What was going on? To be perfectly honest with you. Yeah. So, once again, thank you very much for giving me another opportunity to be on your channel. I think that this was very, and I mean very, very good show. I want to say stay safe, stay fine, stay strong. To the next year, everything the best you can only wish. And see you next time in 2025. All tight. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Peter, and thank you to all of our listeners. I know that this might be an upsetting or a triggering conversation. If you want to add any comments, please do so. We'll try to explain as to my best knowledge as possible. Have a good day, everyone, and thank you for your support, and we will see you next time.
You have been watching Disclosures. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Visit www.acio-official.org and www.readingsbyarael.com to book a private session with Jessica. Feel free to support our work. All links can be found in the description. Thank you, and until next time.